Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2020 science fiction horror action film Breach, a film that is directed by John Suits and it stars Bruce Willis, Cody Kearsley, Rachel Nichols, Thomas Jane, Johnny Mesner and Callan Mulvey. Right. This film focuses on a spacecraft that is carrying a few 100,000 colonists to somewhere called New Earth. It's the usual story. Earth is dying and we are colonizing a new planet. So in stasis, most of the crew are in stasis for this transportation trip, and there is like a skeleton crew left on the ship that to maintain the ship, clean it, all that kind of stuff en route. However, there is an alien creature that has found its way on board that infests the humans and then turns them into some kind of zombies and tries to take over the ship and blah blah blah. You've heard it all before type stuff. Right, what are my thoughts on Breach? Well, I've got to be honest guys, I was quite hopeful for this film when I saw the trailer. I know, foolish me. But I've got to tell you, this is not a good film, guys, at all. Very, very hard to recommend anything about this film. The best positive I could find in this film was this film could have actually been a little bit of cheesy fun if they'd have gone down the route of non-recognisable actors in it. They've clearly put Bruce Willis in this film to sell it and to put him on the poster. You know, and he is in it a lot, you know, there's no getting around it, but you might as well not be, because he gives one of these sleepy performances again, that he's literally, it's like he makes you want to have a little sleep. It's a really drowsy, awful performance by him, non-committal, and he gives nothing to the film. His star power is non-existent, because he doesn't care. He can't even be asked to fall over in this film. There's a scene where he gets knocked over and it's clearly not him. So he can't even be bothered to fall over in a film anymore. So, terrible. This part could have gone to a more committed actor that really wanted the role. And clearly they've gone down a different route here to try and sell the movie because Bruce Willis's name is on the poster. And it makes it so much worse because of that. The film is predictable as you like. It's a rip-off of every science fiction film you can imagine. Yes, Alien, all this kind of stuff. But because it's fairly low budget, I guess, and they probably spent most of the budget on hiring Bruce Willis and Thomas Jane, they couldn't really afford any alien effects. So what's the second best thing? Turn them into zombies type aliens, the crew, and to make them look a bit scary they put like this brown liquid around the face and mouth. Seen it before so many times, it's not scary anymore, and it's not an exciting film. You know, it's just one of those films where they keep shooting at them. It doesn't have any effect, yet they just keep shooting at them rather than finding a more creative solution to kill them. But you don't really need to think fast on how they do figure out a way to kill them, because there's an acid scene earlier in the film. And it's not spoiling anything, it happens fairly early in the film and it's fairly obvious what they're indicating here. You know, acid, burny type stuff, and you just roll your eyes and you're like, oh my god, they treat you like an infant really in regards to its narrative here. It's really just not a good film. It just isn't a good film. There's very, very little to recommend here. It's such a shame. Unimaginative sets. It's just basically every spaceship alien corridor you've seen before, but poorly lit and dull and uninspired. The cast are not interesting. There's no interesting characters here in this film at all. Even the character Noah, played by Cody Kearsley, who's really the main character here in the film, he kind of gets onto the ship as a stowaway, and he's there with the pregnant daughter of the Admiral, played by Thomas Jane. They could have done something with that, but he's so poorly written, they give him very, very little of dialogue or anything interesting to do. Cliched characters, you know, hard asses, bad asses, ridiculous red herrings. They're so predictable, and it's just dull. I mean, who wants to watch space cleaners? I mean, that's essentially what these people are: maintenance men and space cleaners initially. You know, cleaning this ship. You literally see him mopping and scrubbing toilets for some scenes. Some of these characters, and it's like the most dull and uninspired idea for a film that you could possibly imagine for a science fiction film that's supposed to be fun and exciting, and it isn't any of those things. I disliked this film immensely because it wasn't fun, and these type of science fiction action horror films should be fun. There are many examples out there of very low budget that are fun, and they're usually films that are quite self-aware and don't mind having a little bit of fun with the story in the film. This takes itself far too seriously, this film. It's not fun to watch. The effects aren't interesting, and the performances, especially by the leads, aren't interesting at all. And so it's very hard to recommend this film. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. I really disliked it. So yeah, that is my review for Breach. Avoid it, I would suggest, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, I will be back with more content on Screen Stars very soon.